Come here.
Yes, sir.
Trans women getting pregnant is not as far off as you'd think.
I have been misgendered 3 times. I just don't want to set up at a table if it's going to get loud in like 30 minutes. Very rude. This is the story of how I won a twerk off. Hi, friends. Today we're talking about something super cool called pronouns. So you're the person who thinks they can always tell when someone's trans.
I mean, maybe not always, but right now, yeah. Hi, hello, welcome back if you are returning. Welcome if you are new. I am glad you found your way here. Today I want to talk about the internet's biggest walking red flag, a trans TikToker called Lilly Tino, who has once again stirred up controversy online after a recent trip to Disney World in Florida. And for those of you who live in a wonderful bubble and haven't heard of this person, Lilly Tino is a 32-year-old trans TikToker who claims, very loudly, I might add, to be an advocate for trans people, and trans-identified males in particular. But the efforts aren't going well. Now, this person initially gained traction a few years ago for documenting their gender transition and talking about just transness in general, amassing hundreds of thousands of followers across social media and showing up on the For You page a little too often for all of our liking. Some of Tino's greatest hits include Abraham Lincoln was queer.
Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was queer? Sure, he was married to a woman eventually, but he had 2 male partners before that.
Kurt Cobain was trans.
I bet you didn't know that Kurt Cobain was probably trans. Here's why. First off, Kurt wore a lot of women's clothing.
And sharing some of the most uncomfortable videos you will ever witness.
Wait. I have a really important announcement. I promise this will take 2 seconds, okay? You ready? They bounce. Am I right? Crazy.
Now, Tino's fame has become more akin to infamy at this point, for a laundry list of reasons, and Tino's most recent antics might actually result in legal action. Like I mentioned, Tino recently took a trip to Disney World, which is something that this person has done a lot in the past. Why a grown adult male has a season pass to Disney, of all places, and goes alone, perhaps just questions for another day. But this time, Tino came under immense fire for posting photos in the women's bathroom at Disney. Since other women were present in these images, this did not go over well at all with viewers, many of whom have accused Tino of being predatory and creepy, among other things. What's worse is that Tino captioned most of these images with references to how women were reacting to the presence of a male in their space, effectively shaming them for not liking Tino being in a single-sex space. And to add insult to injury, a smaller TikToker reported that she is pictured in one of Tino's images in the background.
Anyway, I'm scrolling and guys, look what I noticed. There I am.
And obviously, we don't know how true or untrue this claim is, but the creator, Tabby the Winnette, suggested she would pursue legal action against Tino if there was a case there. This is not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last, that Tino has gone into women's bathrooms and acted just bizarrely. In plenty of TikTok videos, Tino either mocks women in this setting, making little skits about going into our spaces, or has posted a series of selfies and picture reels. In one particularly bizarre video from earlier in 2025, Tino made a video about coming into contact with a 3-year-old girl in the women's bathroom. This encounter is framed as dangerous and unsafe for Lilly Tino.
I was just in the women's room at a cheesecake factory, and when I walked in, there was this little girl, like 3 years old, tops. She was standing there alone, I assumed waiting for her parent who was in the stall, and all the stalls were full. So like I couldn't go in, I just had to wait, and it was me and this little girl and no one else. And she kind of looked at me like, and I just like nodded my head and didn't look at her. I was like, it's kind of awkward. And it occurred to me that when the parent, who I don't know, leaves the stall, exits their stall, and sees me, a trans person, and their little 3-year-old daughter, that they might make an assumption based on untrue things that they've heard. An assumption that could be very dangerous for me, unsafe for me. So instead of waiting for that to potentially happen, I left the bathroom and decided I didn't need to pee that bad. Trans people go through this thought process any time they're in a bathroom. And it's not okay. And it's important to talk about because it happens all the time.
So you are fearful of being labeled a predator every time you go into the women's bathroom. Have you considered just not going in there? Because that is actually an option. But apparently not for this person who continues and insists on using the ladies' room. But the Disney World slideshow just hit different this time. And Tino did respond to the backlash a few times. Tino addressed this situation in a live video, saying the goal was to normalize trans women using women's bathrooms, and the outcry about it is just part of being an advocate.
And if truly that happened, right? If truly they wanted to say it was against the rules for you to take bathroom selfies, that will ultimately be a good thing. You said not like that I'm happy to be in trouble that way, but this is what it is being an advocate. My goal in taking those pictures was to normalize trans women using the women's room. That kind of thing doesn't happen without friction. Okay, thank you, Jordan, for subbing. It doesn't happen without friction, okay? If Florida, as a state, wants to make a stink about it, they certainly are welcome to. But ultimately, they'll have to know that if they do that, that will do nothing but draw more attention to the issue. Right, which ultimately they might want to do, but these aren't the kind of things that people like truly go to prison for. These are the kinds of things that you see news articles about, right? Like trans woman, in trouble with Florida after blah, blah, blah. And like, it would be a public debacle. And that's good, because we want that conversation out there.
Tino also posted a TikTok comparing this situation with women just taking bathroom selfies.
Those Disney bathroom selfies got y'all real upset, huh? Saying, oh, Lily, you can't take selfies in the bathroom. It's not appropriate. Well, let me remind you that literally every celebrity you've ever enjoyed on screen has at one point taken a bathroom selfie. For example, and it's not just celebrities. Any woman you ever meet has likely taken a photo in a public bathroom. Why, you ask? Because we look cute and we want to document it.
The video does go on, but the moral of the message is basically just, I should be able to go into the women's restroom and record and take photos, because I say so. Which is kind of the perfect example of how this person operates. Now, Tino self-styles as a foodie, which basically just translates to frequenting eateries and harassing restaurant employees, many of whom are foreign and clearly speak English as a second language. So, obviously it's a little bit harder for them to navigate this. And when these poor unsuspecting waiters and waitresses inevitably misgender Tino, a big fuss follows. And Tino gets misgendered a lot.
It's like he's having a nice feast.
She, her.
Okay.
Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir.
Oh, so
Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Okay. The sweet water starts at, okay. Not,
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts. Yeah, I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens. Did you call me sir? I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
What?
Called me sir.
Oh.
It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. No, yeah. Thank you. I'm not a sir. It hurts more, though, and it's not intentional, because it means like, this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, it hurts. I know when people clock me, it's fine, but like, it does kind of hurt. Thank you. I'm not sir.
Oh, sorry.
Not sir.
Because of, the obvious.
She's a guy, so...
But instead of glossing over or even just ignoring these instances, Tino gives a live audience a big show and often leaves, citing safety reasons.
Bottom is from Thailand.
Coconut bread from Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. No, sorry, my bad. And the middle one is from India. It's the papadom with the ginger chutney.
Okay.
And the third is from Brazil. It's a cheese bread with the guava sauce.
Thank you. It just like totally sucks the joy out of this bread tower. Makes me want to immediately like leave because I no longer feel like safe here. It's like, oh, my guard now has to be up. I'm not going to enjoy this bread as much because my guard is up. We should be able to go places and not have to worry. I don't think I really want this bread tower, actually. I think I'd rather have the check if that's
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
I think that's the training. We're supposed to say friend or just not use gendered language. It's like a pretty big thing that Disney has done. Nothing was wrong with bread. I just don't want it anymore. Just because they apologize doesn't mean she doesn't feel sad or offended. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, if you've accidentally ever hurt someone and say, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, do you expect them to be like, oh, it was an accident? Of course, no problem whatsoever. All of that hurt is now undone. That's not how it works.
While this is absolutely insufferable and maybe a little racist, it's actually at the less concerning end of the behavior spectrum for Tino.
So I just got this new microphone, and I'm honestly not entirely sure how it works.
Along with harassing servers and baristas afar for hurting feelings, Tino has gone viral quite a few times for discussing inappropriate topics using some rather off-putting analogies and props. Like using croissants to explain how trans women are women.
If trans women aren't women, then is this big croissant not a croissant? Of course it's a croissant. It's made out of butter and dough just like any other croissant. Oh, but there are biological differences. This croissant was born different. I'm not saying that there isn't a cosmetic difference between this croissant and this croissant, but they are both inarguably still croissants.
Or explaining SRS surgery in excruciating detail while massacring perfectly good food items.
I got my cake pops removed, but now it's time to turn my candy cane into a donut. After the procedure is done, I will stay in the hospital for about a week. And while I'm there, they will pack my freshly made donut with napkins. This will ensure that everything sets in place and the donut doesn't close in on itself. After about a week, they will remove the napkin and send me home with instructions to dilate. Dilating serves the same purpose as the napkin, making sure that the donut doesn't close in on itself. Just instead of using the napkins, you use a plastic candy cane or dilator that you place inside of the donut for 20 minutes 3 times a day. And as you heal, your donut will become more resilient and you will increase the size of your dilator until eventually you're ready for the big leagues and you only have to dilate a couple times a week. That being said, a lot of people don't want to dilate. It's understandable. The good news is that you can get a zero-depth donut, one that looks the exact same but doesn't require dilation. There are certain things that you can't do with a zero-depth donut, but that trade-off is worth it to some people. Personally, I am down to dilate because I am sick and tired of my candy cane, and I'm going into 2026 with a donut.
Tino seems to just always be talking about getting surgery in great detail in public places for some reason.
My face is about to change. Commonly referred to as FFS, facial feminization surgery is the process of making one's face more traditionally feminine. Mine will consist of 5 parts.
And I can't help but notice that the tone used in many of the videos is the same type of tone you'd imagine someone adopting when they are speaking to a child. Like this video using markers to explain gender transition.
A blue cap usually means a blue marker, but sometimes marker caps get switched, and in this case, it is a pink marker. See, that's what happened to me. They saw something on the ultrasound that usually means it's a boy, but the cap was cap, and I turned out to be a girl.
But the local cafe isn't the only place he visits to discuss genital surgery. He also has taken a liking to discussing the same topics while filming in Disneyland.
I think Disney's gonna ban me for this one. My corn dog is still intact. They are going to take my corn dog. These ears do not want to stay on. They are going to cut it down the middle. This is not the best knife for this. They will then take off the outer lining of the corn dog. Okay, I'm actually impressed that I'm doing this good of a job. Like so. Flip it inside out and make something of a tunnel. This tunnel will then become, well,
you know, my hands are disgusting. Now you might be asking why I would do this or why anyone would do this. It sounds not fun. And I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to that recovery process. But know that this is not a decision that any of us take lightly. Our corn dogs do serve a purpose, but at the end of the day, I just don't like having it. It's not me. I look at it in the mirror and it's like, ugh, can we do something about that? And it turns out we can. But until then, I am making the most of my final days with my corn dog. Farewell to this thing that has served me not very well, but is what I was born with. It did its duty. R.I.P. I'm blown.
It's gonna take a lot for me to get through fair this year after seeing that. I really like corn dogs. Guess that's over. And Tino clearly knows this is inappropriate, evident by the repeated references of getting banned from Disney, which was a rumor swirling for a minute that Tino had been banned from Disney for making content like this, which Tino promptly dispelled by making a rather awkward and off-putting video entering the park.
So last year I made a video that a lot of people got upset by where I talked about some things in Disneyland. A lot of y'all thought that video would get me banned from Disney, so let's see if that's true. I'm at the Disney World entrance about to try and get in, so let's see if that video really did get me banned. I paid for a hotel and the tickets, so it would be really unfortunate if that happened at this point. It's not a very long line to get in. Sweat on the brow. That's how I'm nervous. It's exciting. I love Disney World. Okay, so I just beep it here. Put the finger there. Oh, further in. I'm allowed in? I'm not banned from Disney. Wow. Huge news. Thank you. Y'all. I'm back. I'm back, baby. You can't keep me out of Disney. Marshmallow wands. Cake pops. Let's go. I'm here.
But even more alarming than all of this, Tino has actually made content that seems to be directed at kids. A while back, this person did a few videos dressed up as popular kids creator Miss Rachel, making videos explaining pronouns and being transgender.
Hi friends! Today we're going to talk about something super important, what it means to be transgender. It's a big word, but I promise that it's easy to understand. Ready to learn? The first thing I want you to do is close your eyes. Now think, do you feel like a boy, a girl, or a little bit of both? Do you have your answer? Great. Now I want you to imagine that everyone keeps telling you that you're something else, even though in your heart you know who you are. Wouldn't that make you sad inside? People who feel like this are transgender. And if you're not transgender, it's super easy to be friends with someone who is. Let's take our imaginary friend Theo, for example. One day you notice that Theo starts wearing girl clothes instead of boy clothes, and then they tell you that they want to be called Luna instead of Theo. This is so exciting for our friend Luna because they finally get to be their true self. And if you accidentally call Luna by their old name, make sure to say a big sorry and that you'll do better next time. As you can see, transgender people are just like you and me. They're our friends.
What the actual
Hi friends! Today we're talking about something super cool called pronouns. Pronouns are little words that help us talk about each other. We all have pronouns. Some people use he and him, like this bear. He's so cuddly. Some people use she and her, like this cat. She's so playful. Some people use they and them. Oh, like this frog. They like to hop. Can you say he's so cuddly? Good. Can you say she's so playful? Good. Can you say they like to hop? Good job. And it's important to ask people what their pronouns are because you can't always tell by what they look like. Here's how you do it. Hi, my name is Lily. My pronouns are she and her. What about you? Then the other person can tell you their name and pronouns. Using the right pronouns makes everyone feel happy and included. It shows that you care about them. Plus, it's an easy way to be a good friend.
I'm going to start a petition to ban this person from society effective immediately. There are also videos reading children's books featuring LGBTQ themes.
You Need to Chill by Juno Dawson. Sometimes people say to me, what happened to your brother Bill? We haven't seen him in ages. Is he hiding? Is he ill? Was he taken to Mars by aliens? Is he on their spaceship still? Stop, I say. That's enough. Hey, You need to chill. There are no hungry whales and no green little men. Your hysteria is silly. The truth is that my brother Bill, big reveal, is now my sister, Lily. I know.
And Tino spends an awful lot of time advocating for kids who believe that they are trans. But it doesn't just stop at advocacy. Tino actually has been advising some of these kids. Tino has one segment called Ask a Trans Girl, where people call in and leave voicemails with any questions they may have for Tino to answer.
Welcome to Ask a Trans Girl, the show where I answer your questions. Let's listen to today's voicemail.
While we don't know the age of the callers, many sound very young, and it seems that at least part of his audience is comprised of minors because a child called in, asking Tino for advice on how to talk to their parents about transitioning. And Tino was happy to respond.
My name is DeAndre, and I was looking at turning into DeAndre, and I'm not sure how my family or friends will take it. Do you have any advice? Thank you.
DeAndre, you are so sweet. I can hear both the excitement and the fear in your voice. First off, there's no need to rush. You can keep this to yourself however long you want. And when you're finally ready to tell your parents, don't beat around the bush. Say, hey, mom and dad, I'm really excited to tell you I've realized that I'm transgender. From now on, I'll be using the name Deandra instead of DeAndre and using she instead of he. And then stop talking and wait for them to say something. Hopefully they respond positively like my parents did and say something like, oh my God, we're so happy for you. Congratulations. If they're not supportive, don't let them convince you that you're just going through a phase or confused. Find a supportive teacher or a supportive friend, someone who knows who you are and respects you for it. Something I've learned during my transition is that you can't live for others. You have to live for yourself. Anyways, good luck, Deandra. We are all rooting for you.
In another video, a girl calls in asking for advice about whether she should tell her parents that she thinks her sibling is trans. Tino's advice is to not tell the parents and just be supportive of the sibling.
So my little brother Jamie, he's 14, he's been telling me that he really wants to be a woman. He feels like a woman. I'm not sure if I should be telling my parents or should I keep it in between me and him.
I think when a kid comes out as trans, sometimes people have a gut reaction that says, oh my God, this kid is in danger, or this kid is confused, they're going down the wrong path, when in reality, they're not. They're really just learning about themselves and figuring out who they are, just in the same way that a kid might realize they're straight or gay. As far as your parents go, you probably already know generally how they're going to react. Just from the vibe of this voice message, I'm guessing it's not going to be a super positive reaction. So I might hold off on telling them for now. Instead, go and talk to Jamie. Say, hey, thank you so much for trusting me. Let me be a resource to you. Let me be your safe person, right? Do you want me to call you a different name other than Jamie when we're alone? Do you want me to say she instead of he or they instead of he? And maybe one of the most important things, do you want me to help you tell mom and dad, right? Because if you're able to be there when Jamie comes out and say, hey, no, I support Jamie. Jamie is my sister, or whatever word it is that they're comfortable with, then you're really saving their life. It might sound hyperbolic, but it's really not. So many trans kids don't have any allies, not even one, much less their brother or sister. And when you talk to trans people who are a little bit older, a lot of times you'll hear stories about that one friend or that one family member who stood up for them and said, hey, I love this person. This person is not a danger to themselves. They're not wrong. They're not confused. They are who they are, and they're wonderful.
Petition to ban from society. And once again, while this is insanely concerning, the cherry on top of the red flag tower that we've built so far is the fact that this person has an OF account, which has also attracted quite a bit of controversy for the advocate here. I mean, one video on the timeline is a Miss Rachel cosplay, and the next is responding to another creator named Colleen over harassment accusations stemming from OF, which is just a crazy juxtaposition. But there's no really separation of highly sexualized content and this content that is geared towards kids. Over and over, we see repeated examples of Tino trying to attract young people in one way or another. The clothing this person wears, the tone they take, the type of education that they are saying that they're providing, all create this picture of somebody who is trying to get close to younger demographics. And Tino likes to go out of the way to bother people, like talking about these graphic things in public places, especially at a kid's theme park, constantly going into the restroom, and then on top of that, making content that actively mocks the women who are fearful or intimidated by Tino's presence. Makes it very clear that this person is actively looking for conflict.
I am not, sir. Do you want to say that to the camera? Hundreds and hundreds of people watching you?
Me right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no.
No, go ahead. You just called me a man. Don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. Yeah, you're a coward. Come on over. Say what you got to say to me. Oh, you don't want to call me a man in my face? Come on over. What do you got to say? What do you got to say about transgender people?
I didn't know you were trans.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know you was trans.
Go ahead.
I did not know this man was trans. Wait, what do you go by? What do you go by?
Does it matter?
It does, because I'm asking you.
Say what you got to say. There's a lot of people watching you.
The real question is, it doesn't matter if you're transgender or not. Are you with that? Are you with the people that march and be like, "We're coming for your kids"? That's where it's bad. That's when it gets bad. Oh, you need to stay up.
What's your name?
Me?
Yeah.
K.
K?
K.
K-A-Y?
K-A-Y.
Okay, and what's your name?
I don't have to give you any of my information.
You certainly don't. What's your
My
name?
name's JJ, and is y'all thing a cult? It's like LGBTTL cult or something.
Can I ask why you didn't step in? What you were standing and watching? They called me a pedophile. They were verbally harassing me.
I didn't hear him call you that. I didn't know. I honestly had no idea what conversation you were having.
It's kind of funny to me that Tino claims that simply hearing the wrong pronoun is so hurtful and horrible and scary, yet seems perfectly at ease and relaxed, inviting people over to the table who could only be categorized as those transphobas, and then proceed to interview them, kind of indicates that it's not so scary after all. And only after these people are gone does Tino approach a worker who sounds like a woman, demanding to know why this person didn't come to Lilly Tino's rescue. Tino was not in danger in the exact same way that Tino isn't in danger just because somebody says sir. Because none of this is about safety or feelings or respecting anyone. It's about control.
I am reporting to you live from my pre-surgery. I'm about to get my cake pops removed. I'm pretty nervous right now. I didn't think I would be this nervous. It's a loss of control that I'm not really used to.
Whether it's controlling other people's speech with pronoun policing or going into women's bathrooms, Tino seems to want the fight because then it can be posted online, monetized, and used as ammo.
Made it into Disney World. I don't really know what the deal is with bathrooms. I know Florida is really conservative. I don't know what the rules are. Trans women are allowed to be in women's bathrooms, but I'm about to go and use the bathroom because I have to tinkle. If I get stopped, I guess. But I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the women's bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me. So I will report back in a minute once I have hopefully tinkled without issue.
3 minutes later.
That went as well as it could have gone. No one gave me any weird looks. Definitely no one stopped me. I walked in, I found a stall, I peed. I peed standing up, which is something I'm sometimes a little self-conscious about with the sound. I think, oh, is there someone peeing standing up there? But you know what? I peed standing up and it was fine. And then I washed my hands and I left. And you know what? On my way out from the women's bathroom, I took a quick picture with someone who recognized me and it was lovely. So overall, Disney World in Florida, 10 out of 10. Women's bathroom experience for trans women, would recommend.
How are you comfortable standing while using the restroom when you claim to have such severe gender dysphoria that you need to go get surgery and correct it? In there, just splashing all over the seats, making a mess. No dysphoria from that? Interesting. And part of me wonders if this person is real at all, or if this is all just an act for social media. Because there's claims that this person is undergoing gender transition and getting surgery. Claims which conveniently cannot be verified, because I see no difference. Aside from perhaps these strange hair removal sessions that audiences are, for some reason, invited to have a front row seat at.
Ooh, that one burns. It's fine. Oh no. Spoke to... Ooh.
Kelly Clarkson!
person!
And Tino actually openly admits that most of the behaviors that they display are fueled by anger. Tino also encourages others to feel that same anger.
Getting pushed around and seeing others get pushed around has given me a lot of anger. This anger is probably my primary source of motivation for everything that I do. Is that a good thing? I don't know. After last night, there's sadness, but sadness doesn't get us anywhere. Sadness doesn't motivate. Find that anger that comes from seeing your fellow human pushed around. Harness it to do good in the world. In 50 years, maybe queer people will have the luxury of being able to be motivated by something better, but we can get stuff done with anger. And to all the queer kids watching, I know how discouraging this must be for you. I wish I could tell you that your generation is the one that's going to have it much easier, but it's not. We didn't pick this fight. This fight was picked for us. But we have a choice. Either fight it or roll over. And I refuse to roll over. So take today, get yourself together, drink water, cuddle your dog, and tomorrow, gear up, because we got work to do, baby.
This isn't a person who is just trying to live their life. It's an instance of using the trans label as a shield and a mechanism for control. Oh, you don't like what I'm doing just because you hate trans people. No, I don't like what you're doing because you're a weirdo and a creep. I don't think this person is trans as much as I think that they are using the trans ID as a mechanism to gain control over other people. And it seems like there's a lot of joy in that for these types. Tino is always inviting conflict. Every little win only fuels the ego more and then emboldens this person to continue these same type of behaviors. Not to mention the monetization factor here online just incentivizes the same types of videos and behaviors all the more. It doesn't really matter if you're getting negative attention, as long as you're getting views and clicks, you're making money. And that's what a lot of social media is comprised of now. Just rage bait, baby. And the entire internet just hates this person at this point. Left, right, gay, straight, trans, we've all found a united front. Hoping Lilly Tino gets banned on TikTok, which might actually be a possibility too.
Can we all just appreciate the fact that everyone collectively hates Lilly Tino?
Anyone who still follows Lilly Tino, just stop on any social media platform. She is a detriment to our community.
It's the fact that you act very masculine and present very masculine. And a lot of people are going to get upset about me with that. And there's a difference between being transphobic and actually holding behavior accountable that is wrong. I am a very liberal, progressive trans woman. I accept all trans people. It's the fact that Lilly Tino has very masculine behavior and she purposely does things for rage bait and to piss people off.
There's even a growing faction trying to get Tino banned from TikTok by starting a petition that has gotten over 200,000 signatures. So it seems that a lot of these unhinged behaviors that gain a lot of clicks and views online might result in some rather unfortunate real-world consequences. Personally, I doubt the petition will actually go anywhere. They seldom do. But it illustrates how fed up people are with this person and with others like them. I am curious to see if criminal or civil charges will arise, but if they don't in this situation, I really do think it's just a matter of time. Because I don't think Tino is going to be slowing down anytime soon, despite the amount of even trans people who don't like this person and who actively speak out against them. But that's my take, and now I would love to hear yours. Do you think Tino should face legal repercussions? Do you think this person should be banned from TikTok? Do you think they should be banned from Disney? I vote yes. Or do you think that this will largely just go ignored? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. I always really enjoy reading through them. Like and subscribe if you thought this video was worthwhile. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and I will see you guys next Friday.